Have you ever looked at your pet and felt an overwhelming sense of love? That furry, feathered, or scaly friend who just gets you. It turns out some of the most famous people in history felt the exact same way, and their stories with animals are not just heartwarming, they're incredibly inspiring. Let's start with a man whose name is synonymous with genius, Albert Einstein. We all know him for E equals MC, but did you know he had a deep philosophical connection with his cat, Tiger? Einstein would often talk to Tiger for hours, bouncing off his most complex theories. He once said, "There are two means of refuge from the miseries of life, music and cats." He believed that watching Tiger's simple content existence was a lesson in itself, reminder to find joy in the present moment, free from the worries of the past or the anxieties of the future. His cat wasn't just a pet, it was his furry little muse, a source of comfort and profound insight. Now, let's travel from the world of science to the world of art. Frida Kahlo, the iconic Mexican painter, is famous for her vibrant, emotional self-portraits. And if you look closely at her work, you'll see she was rarely alone. She surrounded herself with a menagerie of animals: spider, monkeys, parrots, deer, and even an eagle. These weren't just exotic pets. They were her family, her children. After suffering immense physical and emotional pain throughout her life, Frida found unconditional love and solace in her animals. Her monkeys, Fulang Chang and Camito del Guayabal, were often depicted clinging to her, like protective children. They symbolized a wild, untamed part of her own spirit, and a deep maternal love she longed to express. Her animals were her therapy, her confidants, and a living, breathing part of her art. Speaking of powerful women, let's talk about Queen Elizabeth II. Her love for corgis is legendary. For over 70 years, she was a dedicated corgi owner, with more than 30 of them by her side throughout her reign. It all started with Susan, a corgi she received for her 18th birthday. Susan was so beloved that she even joined the Queen on her honeymoon. This wasn't just a royal hobby. In a life defined by strict duty and protocol, her dogs offered a rare glimpse into her private, unguarded self. They were a source of simple, uncomplicated joy. They didn't care that she was a queen. To them, she was just their person. Her lifelong devotion to these dogs shows that, no matter how grand your title, the love of a loyal companion is one of life's greatest treasures. It's a beautiful reminder of the importance of consistency and loyalty. From royalty to a literary giant, let's turn to Mark Twain. The man who gave us Tom Sawyer and Huckleberry Finn was also a passionate cat lover. He famously said, "If man could be crossed with the cat, it would improve man, but it would deteriorate the cat." He adored their independence, their intelligence, and their dignified nature. At one point, he had as many as 19 cats living with him. He gave them grand names like Blatherskite, Sour Mash, and Beelzebub. For Twain, who was known for his sharp wit and cynical view of humanity, cats represented a pure, uncorrupted form of being. They were his companions through periods of deep grief and creative struggle, offering silent, graceful comfort when words failed. Let's fast forward to a modern-day icon, Betty White. For decades, Betty was not only America's sweetheart, but also one of its most dedicated animal advocates. Her love for animals wasn't just a talking point, it was her life's mission. She spent countless hours working with zoos and animal welfare organizations. She would say, "You can always tell about a person by the way they treat an animal." She believed that kindness to animals was a fundamental measure of our own humanity. She even turned down a movie role because the script included a scene where a dog was treated poorly. Betty White used her immense fame to be a voice for the voiceless, proving that one person's passion can create a massive wave of positive change for animals everywhere. And we can't talk about animal champions without mentioning the chimpanzee lady, Dr. Jane Goodall. Her story is one of pure dedication. She arrived in Gombe, Tanzania in 1960 with little more than a notebook and a pair of binoculars. She didn't have a formal degree at the time, but she had endless patience and a revolutionary approach. Instead of treating the chimpanzees as mere subjects, she saw them as individuals with personalities and emotions. She gave them names, like David Greybeard and Goliath, and observed their complex social lives. She discovered that chimpanzees use tools, a finding that completely reshaped our understanding of what it means to be human. Jane Goodall taught the world that the line between humans and animals is far blurrier than we ever imagined. Her work inspires us to approach all living beings with respect, curiosity, and empathy. So, what can we learn from all these stories, from Einstein's muse to Frida's children? From the Queen's loyal friends to Betty White's lifelong cause? These famous figures show us that animals are more than just pets. They are our teachers, our healers, and our family. They remind us to be present, to love unconditionally, and to fight for those who cannot speak for themselves. The next time you cuddle with your pet, remember that you're part of a long and beautiful history of humans finding inspiration, comfort, and purpose in the animal kingdom. Thank you so much for watching. If this video touched your heart, please give it a thumbs up. And don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell for more inspiring stories. We'd love to hear about your own animal companions in the comments below. See you in the next video.